Hey guys, this is Chris. Gaines Banding is my MTGO name, and playing in the Classic Quarter Season 3 League here, so I'm going to go over the deck that I'm playing real quick. This is a pretty stock Affinity list. So basically, Workshop, and that is Mishra's Workshop right here, is kind of dominating Classic right now. And I messed around with a couple sort of rogue ideas to try to beat shops, but I am just not a particularly good rogue deck builder, so that didn't work out. And if you can't beat them, join them. So there's sort of two types of workshop lists. There's the 13 sphere sort of mud shop list that basically tries to play a bunch of sphere effects, which is stuff. The only one I have in here is Lodestone Golem, but stuff that basically tries to make spells cost more. And since your deck has things like Mishra's Workshop that provide 3 mana, and your opponent's deck has normal lands that only provide 1, you just mess with the resources of the game and lock the other player out. That's the basics. I am playing, though, an Affinity list, which basically has super low casting cost creatures and tries to dump out its hand and attack like crazy and sack everything to Arcbound Ravager in order to pump up and get in. Basically, you can get board states so that all you have to do is connect with one creature, and Arcbound Ravager is basically so unfair that you just sack all your artifacts and move the counters around, and that's that. So we'll go over real quick. Ancient Tomb provides 2 mana. The damage basically doesn't matter. Wasteland will wipe out their lands. Gaia's Cradle, you can get massive amounts of green mana off of this one. I mean, it doesn't matter what color it is, but I only have one because I sold my Gaia's Cradles right before they went up in price, and I refused to buy them back while they're expensive. So hoping Legacy will die down a little bit and they'll go back down. Anyway, a couple Mishra's Factories, which turn into creatures, so you can bash late in the game when you have extra mana. Mishra's Workshop provides, obviously, 3 mana. I only cast artifact spells with it, but pretty much all I have, in fact, all I have is artifact spells, so that doesn't matter. The quirk of this is you can't use it to pay any activations, but I don't believe I have any except Skull Clamp. Okay, so Strip Mine also destroys their lands. Tolarian Academy, all I have is artifacts in the deck, so it provides massive amounts of mana. Mana Crypt is 2 free mana. Memnite is 0 casting cost, 1/1. That, like I say, you just want to dump your hand with this. And then Mox Opal is just another 0 casting cost mana source. And the 1-drops we got. Mana Vault has a lot of text on it if you don't know this card, but basically provides 3 mana and then doesn't untap until you pay 4 to untap it. And while it's tapped, it does 1 damage each turn. But the game's going to be over before it kills you, ideally. Signal Pest pumps you guys when it attacks, and since it can only be blocked by creatures with flying or reach, it's unblockable against some decks, so you can get in there with that. If you have multiple on the board, they pump each other. Skull Clamp is sort of the draw engine, because you'll have a bunch of dudes on the field, and you can just keep sacking them with Skull Clamp and drawing cards. Soul Ring is, of course, fast mana. Arcbound Ravager is just ridiculously unfair and allows you to pump your guys and move the counters around. Genesis Chamber is seems like kind of a silly card, but it just goes crazy in this deck because you're bringing so many dudes out that you get all these extra 1/1s, and then you sack those to Skull Clamp if you need to draw more cards. Phyrexian Revoker is to stop any abilities that they have, and Steel Overseer pumps your dudes. Frogmite basically just ends up being a free 2/2. Lodestone Golem is your big dude who also makes them pay more for their spells and doesn't affect you because you're doing all artifact spells. Phyrexian Metamorph is just a way to copy if they have any legendary guys they get out, or just make him another Lodestone. Memory Jar is a draw 7, and ideally you'll get more use out of it than the opponent. Triskelion I put in, it's might be a little expensive, but I put him in for those 1/1 counters to ping, because I expect a lot of creature decks to be in my way, and it might be nice to ping them. Also, with Arcbound Ravager, you can move counters around, and if for some reason I can't attack, I can potentially kill them with Triskelion just by moving counters around. And then Spine of Ishta is a little bit of removal. This might be tech or it might be really dumb, but it's a pretty nice combo with Arcbound Ravager again. The 7 is like a pretty high casting cost, but doable in this deck. So yeah, this might be able to get rid of an Oath or a Emrakul or Rest in Peace or something like that. And then sack it to Arcbound Ravager and then get it back again. In the sideboard, we got Tormod's Crypt to fight against Dredge or any other deck that wants to abuse the graveyard. Brittle Effigy, I'm not sure about this one. It's another removal spell just because I expect a lot of creature decks. Grafdigger's Cage will stop Oath decks and Dredge decks. Basically things that are trying to cheat stuff into play, not from their hand. Relic of Progenitus is also against Dredge decks. Ensnaring Bridge is going to be against Oath if they do manage to land a big guy, either through Show and Tell or from Oath itself. Then hopefully we can make that creature not able to attack. Etched Champion, I put in here again against all the like blue and green creature decks. I expect it might be nice to have somebody who can get through, because like I said, a lot of times you only need to you only need to connect with one creature sometime in this deck. Dismember is more removal, that I won't have the black mana, but I can pay the 4 life for. And then Duplicant is basically more removal if they do manage to land a big guy. So there's that deck, and yeah, we'll see you in the rounds.